Hello everyone, and welcome to The Monster Inside. So this is an audiovisual novella by Random Seed Games. Obviously, as you can see by the title page here. I have no idea what to expect. I kind of just randomly picked it up on Steam. I decided to play a little indie game. It's supposed to be a detective mystery game. So we'll see how it goes. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I had had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw, but just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. Okay. So I guess this is my office. There was another notice on the door from Mayor Vanetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. Drown me in paperwork? It doesn't really look like there's much paper here, but whatever. Okay, next. What is that? Sorry, I got sidetracked, but it's like a crumpled piece of paper. Is that what they mean by paperwork? Is there anything I can click? Guess not. Okay. It was a slow month. Weeks since I'd had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely concealed with an old bedsheet. Okay, so that's the mirror. That makes sense. Okay. So it feels like because I said it, I should be able to click it, but I don't see how I can click it. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see, afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. Okay, again, like, it should be clicked, but whatever. The girl came in so quiet, I nearly choked on my cigarette. How do you choke on a cigarette? Like, I'm failing to understand how you do that. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Which one should I go with? Calm down now. Sit and talk slow. Okay, thanks. It's just no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale. I'm listening. She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. So this kind of feels like one of those like old Detective Stone kind of things. Her name is Lily. Well, that's a pretty name. She told me that she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, the infamous banker, Mr. Renegald Farnsworth. I can speak. It's like Funshaw? No, that's not right. Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard, but this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. So she's not concerned about that, but police apparently aren't either. You don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, and no one believes me. He's got to be in trouble. I ain't saying I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? Well, mister, Jack. You can call me Jack. Jack, whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would never have left without me. He promised me. Aw, she's so naive. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me. And they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they're in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets. Probably why they haven't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. Well said. You've got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you, but please, be careful. I don't think this was just any murderer or kidnapper. I think it was a what? A beast. Gasp. Beast. The word struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Not a word many use these days except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, all right. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges, but I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. I used to be a cop, eh? Leave the detective work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. I'm the detective, geez. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it, like you're good at this sort of thing. Sure. Can't you see how busy I am with cases? Wow, I'm a jerk. I applied a bit too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. Aw, I'm such a gentleman. I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. That night, I made my way down to Central Park. It was a long shot, but maybe there was something the cops had missed. Like, within 2 days, they missed something? Ooh, achievement. The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I've got a knack for finding things others overlook. What sort of knack? A knack, more of a symptom of a condition. Other less useful symptoms I kept in check, but for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. Weird. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion. Okay. So I sound like a weirdo. Seduction. Yeah, I'm definitely a weirdo. A strangely familiar smell. I expected the scent of trepidation or maybe even outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Kinky. Brought new meaning to crime of passion. Oh, I'm very punny as well. Pushing this off from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Okay, so, here's something here. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. But cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of Carquinos? Anyway, expensive shoes. Okay, next. It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. So I guess he did kill his wife. Alright, that looks like something. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran a finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. How did the cops not see that? This wasn't just any burn mark. This was the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. How could they not? It's bright. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here? But I was no stranger to the strange. Apparently I'm Dr. Strange. After looking around a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me, so I trudged back to my apartment, and my head hit the pillow like I owed it money. Sorry, some of the things, it's all grammatically great, but it's hilarious sounding. The next morning, I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask. Back in the office. Looks the same as before. So what did you find? Did I find? Well, I've got some good news. See, I don't want to bring up the monsters, you know? So I'm thinking, I've got some good news. Francois might still be alive. It probably shouldn't have given her some false hope. Like, I tried my best, but she seemed like she needed something to hold on to right now. That's what I thought. She didn't need to know about the mark on the tree. How do you know that? Where is he? There were signs he was at the scene and he slipped away. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. The dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. Wow, I am a raging alcoholic. But you don't know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? What news this morning? Huh, what news is that? Haven't you heard? Yeah, but you should tell me what you know. They found the police chief's wife dead by the docks. They said it happened last night. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too? My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a shit cop and a shit chief. Wow, strong feelings. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. I guess she just comes with tons of info, you know? The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain in my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. That night, after the cops had cleared out of the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Mrs. Amato's untimely demise. So it seems like you get achievement for each chapter. The cold air smelled strangely of salt and oil, and could it be? Oh no. That smell again, like someone had bottled pure razzle and used it as perfume. I am very interesting. It hit me like a long-forgotten memory, but the central fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline, and I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and it scared me more than not knowing. What did it remind me of? What could it possibly be? I looked down at my hands, shaking, the nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now, reformed. Am I a sex addict? I had to focus. No jumping to conclusions, follow the evidence. Alright, let's investigate this. That seems cool. Red Phoenix cigarettes, same shitty brand I smoked every day. Everyone's got their vice. Alright. It's pointing to me right now. There, just there, the smallest piece of purple fabric torn and caught in the splinter of a board. The police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amato wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. I pulled out my own pack of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looked out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling to the top of my brain. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. Was it an easy chair, like a recliner? It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? Had I really slept through the entire next day? Newspaper was sitting under the floor, and I stood to fetch it, and I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking. Mayor missing. Wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. I think 2 is a pattern when it had the same sort of issues, but whatever. The cops would come asking me questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. Oh, that's not good. Huh. I stumbled to my desk, slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. I threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Ugh, Lily, go away. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. Rude. I'm sorry, Lily, but I don't have time to talk. I have to go. I don't think I'm gonna mention the other crime scene. Okay, but we need to talk. When you get back, stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay, but it would be a lie. Why is she kissing my cheek? Like, I don't know her. She doesn't know me. That's really weird. Some 1950s fantasy. All right, next chapter. The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked to know the crime scene was even sloppier than the last. It doesn't look sloppier. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash and evidence. Okay, well, I guess that's going to be something I have to investigate. Let's start with the trash. Right when they at least looked through the dumpster, it seemed untouched. No one wanted to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone who's dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't even bother to shred them. How are they lightweight? Paper is incredibly heavy. Jackpot. Shell companies. Shady stock trades. Bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked. But this is unbelievable. And there was more letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato. Talking about me? How they were trying to get me shut down? They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this one. Alright, nothing here, nothing... Oh, wait, the car door's open. I didn't notice that, sorry. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why would he have left his car? It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything that might assuage my fears, I caught a scent again. Oh no, not again. Don't be a creep again. Ugh. It overwhelmed my other senses with undulating pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. So I'm an impotent sex addict, essentially. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? How does someone frame someone with a smell that only you can smell? It was impossible, was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed, but the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses, I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking out of the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How does someone take your watch? How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I had dropped it when I first came down the alley. I checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. Next chapter. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute, knock on the door, and cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. Okay. Yeah, I can't click it. But Lily was still there, waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Well, it kind of looks like a ghost in the corner, if I'm being honest. My own ghost. Come back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come, sit down. Why is she telling me to sit down? It's my own office. You don't understand. You're not safe around me. What? I took a good last look at her as I prepared to shove her out the door, and I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had worn the first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress. Not that I hadn't noticed before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. Ooh. And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places. Did I find some purple? My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You are the monster, succubus. Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I simply more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true natures, as you have, incubus. Do we just call each other by what we are, then? You human. Those men are probably dead too now, I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvested their seed. Oh, wow. So, you've done all this just to wake me up? You could say that, though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believed you were still capable of such horrors, which means deep down you probably are. Alright. You can't escape it. Now, I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch, messed with my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone, and now they're gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner. Is there a window in the corner? Anyway, she was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. Yeah, or else I would have noticed there's no window. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I've never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh, please. Such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasures of the flesh. That's hilarious. But I do still need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from those awful men and plant it among the fertile masses for me. This is just such an awkward storyline. I'm tired of training my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Or that maniacal laughter. More of a giggle, really. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. With a quick flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful monstrous scream. Trapped. Why? I don't get that. That's not something that happens. Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my desk side drawer and aimed it at the mirror. And fired. Alright, so that was a thing, and I played it. I hope you enjoy. That was A Monster Inside. And, yeah, tell me, I guess, what you think of it. I like the aesthetics, I like the music. Obviously it was more of like a visual novel kind of thing, and there wasn't much to it, so it lived up to my expectation of being a short little game. But overall, I mean, yeah, I played it. It was a thing. The story was weird. It certainly was a twist I did not see coming. No pun intended. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Ciao.